Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Sideline Debrief. It is your boy, Jamie Thomas, joined by my excellent partner over there with his fresh cut, Ethan. Taylor is joining us here today, as he always does, um, rocking the Leeds scarf in the background and the fresh cut.
Thank you for the compliment.
He needed some upbringing after the rough result this weekend, which we'll dive into in the next episode. But you gotta take the pauses where they come. But so for this first episode today, we're gonna quickly go over the coaching changes, continued coaching change in the Premier League. This time involving two uh, bottom half of the table clubs, Frank Lampard and Brendan Rodgers, and then we're also going to talk about the title race and about how Liverpool and Arsenal's result impacts the title race. In our second episode, we'll be going over Spurs Brighton and how bad the refereeing was, and then a little bit about Leeds versus Palace and how Roy Hudson is the best
And
thing
how Olise is now
since
a
Plumlee.
Champions League winning right winger.
Yep, he always has been, especially if you're running up against Junior Firpo. And then in our final episode, we got some quick little snippets, and we're actually going to dive into a few different sports that we haven't before. So stay tuned for that one, and you'll find out. And of course, we'll do I'll do my Intercity FC review too. So let's start at the very top. And the big news this weekend in the coaching carousel was first Chelsea found their interim until the end of the season. Fat Frank Lampard.
Yeah, and he's back, and he's not better than
He's
ever.
back. Nope.
He
Nope.
he remember
Failed at Everton.
yeah, yeah, and he coached Wolves, didn't he? He was
No.
not didn't coach Wolves. He was coaching Chelsea against Wolves, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's what I meant.
He took charge for the first time this
And
weekend. Yes.
the quality that Chelsea team has in the lack of manager
In the finishing
experience
department.
and
Hmm.
manager experience that team has is
I mean,
ridiculous.
um, we weren't gonna jump into it, but we can talk about this weekend's result. 1-0 Wolves over Chelsea in Lampard's first game. I didn't watch it. I remain had it on in the other room though, so I caught when the Wolves goal happened, which an absolute beauty by Nunez, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Mateus Nunes,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, or I think it's Nuns maybe. I don't know. I'm not great on pronunciations,
We don't spell
but
check here.
no, we don't discriminate. But excellent, not excellent game, but Wolves kept compact, kept them quiet, and the same
Wolves
problems
were also not
aren't going
good
to be
though,
fixed.
from what I've heard. They were still not good, but Chelsea was worse.
No, but they kept compact, and Chelsea
Yeah,
can't attack. Chelsea spent all this money on all these different players, but they don't have a striker. Which at the end of the day, you need strikers to score goals. And Felix isn't scoring, Mudryk isn't scoring, Madueke, Pulisic, Ziyech, you name any of those forward players, they're not scoring. And that is the biggest issue for Graham Potter, and that's now going to be the biggest issue for Frank Lampard. So it'll be interesting to see if Frank Lampard can get a player or just in some sort of form up front. Because what Frank Lampard also does, though, is he nerfs Kai Havertz, which is probably their best attacking player. So it'll be really interesting to see how that moves forward there. But defensively, I mean, outside of one massive strike, that game would have been 0-0.
yeah.
So I don't expect Frank Lampard to walk in and turn it around. I don't think anyone does. I think they expect Frank Lampard to come in and just bring in decent vibes because that's what the club needs right now.
And honestly, though, Frank Lampard's coaching career might take another abysmal downturn after he is now the interim coach again for Chelsea, and they probably won't see any results. And after coaching Chelsea, then Everton, and then Chelsea again, and he has only brought down teams. I mean, Chelsea are already down. He can't do anything now.
No,
But
and I think he's fine with it. If he's the Chelsea manager, he's okay.
oh,
Like he's gonna keep getting the
he's
Chelsea
getting
interim
money.
jobs.
Yeah, he's getting money.
Yeah, I think he'll probably need a spell away in a different. After this, he might take a spell away from the Prem because it seems like he needs a little distance from the league. But I mean, he's there to just steady the ship. And whenever Chelsea fire a coach and they need an interim and Frank Lampard's available, I guarantee Frank Lampard wants it. So
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Bundesliga, to be quite honest.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I could see him also in France. A lot of coaches, get a start over there. Like
That's
Vieira was
true.
just over there before he came over to Palace. I bet a few other guys, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Um, but yeah, moving on to the other big coaching change, Brendan Rodgers finally fired by Leicester City, who are currently 19th in the table and lost again this weekend. To who? I have to check.
I believe it was
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Yeah,
Bad result for them. But that does mean that they are now sitting 19th, 2 points away from safety, with negative 12 goal difference. Just by comparison, that's only one worse than Palace, who are on 33 points. So the goal difference suggests they're not that bad.
but
They
the
just haven't
games they
had
have
a bit of
won
luck this season.
suggested against Spurs, which was 4-1.
Yeah,
The games they win, they demolish, but they lose too much.
they do. They seem like a team full of mistakes, and a lot of those players, it just feels like such a stale team. And even though they really tried refreshing in the winter, I think it was a bit too late. And did you see who they brought in today?
No, I did not see the update. What was it?
Dean Smith.
Oh no, I did hear about that. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Norwich, right?
based off of subreddits. Yeah, based off of subreddits and based off what Norwich fans are saying, and Villa fans and Leicester fans, they're preparing to be in the championship next year, which would be
Leicester are
incredible.
preparing to
Only
be in the.
8 years. Fans are. I mean, like how you would be as a Leeds fan if you were sitting in 19th right now,
To be fair, we
and just
were
had
we were
Dean
in
Smith.
19th only a few weeks ago, so can't really.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of interference with your mic, just by the way.
Oh, sorry. Um, but yeah, Leeds
Yeah,
only
you're good.
19th place a few weeks ago. Not really. Still nothing
Mm-hmm.
too optimistic. We won 3 games under Gracia. We're gonna get under this later, but 3 games Gracia, 2 draws, 3 losses. Nothing exciting, but we're talking about Leeds later, so
Yep, we'll
yeah,
go on again at least
disappointing.
now. But Leicester, yeah, bringing in really need an uptick in form. Their goal difference suggests that if they're tied with a team on the last day, they'll have a chance. And based off goal difference, they should be far out of there, but they're not. And they gotta figure out how to get out now. They have so much talent in that team. I'd be ashamed to see them go because so many players would leave, and I think Leicester would struggle financially to be in the lower division. But it's a shame to see their drop off ever since their owners passed away. But Brendan Rodgers will probably get a big job now.
I mean, at least what can you do?
So
They won the Prem. Every club takes a
yeah,
downfall, but I mean, it sucks. It really does suck. Personally, I would have
it does.
wanted Southampton to go down just because of how abysmal they've been. I want Everton to go down so that they can win something when they get promoted again. And I would say just Forest. Just they're so bad. Forest are awful. I hate to say it.
I don't want Everton to go down because I don't think Everton will survive as a club. I don't think they'll come up for a very long time. I think all those other teams can bounce back up.
West
But
Ham, I
I think
think
if Everton go down,
West Ham are gonna
I think West
sell.
Ham are gonna be fine.
No, they're gonna be fine, but I'm just saying if they go down, I think they would
Yeah. Oh, they
crumble.
they bounce back.
I think they'd crumble. They'd have to
They
sell all
bounce
their
back.
players, all their
Yeah,
decent
but they'd have a lot of
players.
money.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on to the Arsenal and Liverpool game, and how apparently
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal looked a little clumsy against Liverpool. Did look pretty good. They looked very good. And
Mm-hmm.
I will say Ramsdale apparently came in clutch for Arsenal to get them the single point. But a formation change on Liverpool's part
He did.
too.
He had a great game.
Trent also played another center mid role, kind of. He is finally being utilized not just as a right back, but kind of that John Stones inverted right back where he can like overlaps and be more creative. And Klopp is finally realizing that since he's not that good defensively, and Konate can cover a lot of space, maybe that'll work out in the end.
I think if you've watched Liverpool, yeah, I think if you watched Liverpool for a while though, Trent's always been more of a right wing back.
Oh yeah, for
Just
sure.
despite the way that Liverpool play, they spread their center backs out and they drop Fabinho.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
to create more of that solid three. But I only caught the second half of this game. But I thought Liverpool, their team, and Arsenal were quite lucky to walk away with
Oh
all
yeah, for sure.
with
Ramsdale
a
was their
point.
saving grace.
Ramsdale had an excellent game. Salah, you have to put it on target. He's missed. I think I was reading something where it was like I don't want to say. I want to say like 3 out of the last 5 penalties he's missed. Surely you got to be
Really?
giving it to
I
someone
didn't
else
know it
soon
was that statistically bad.
because yeah, because that miss he missed against Bournemouth when they lost 1-0. He's now missed against Arsenal. That's 2 goals. Both those goals give them 3 more points. Those 3 more points put them on 47. They're in sixth place. Like they're only two games behind Tottenham in fifth with a game in hand. 6 points behind with a game in hand. All different, but those two missed penalties right now are looking quite painful for Liverpool. And as I said, I watched the second half, and I thought Liverpool deserved a point. There was a goal line save by uh, Ramsdale on Konate. He had an excellent save to deny Salah again. But I think Liverpool deserved their goal, and they deserved a point, if not more. But I only watched the second half, like I said, and based on the first half, I think Arsenal deserved it.
Yeah, I
But
mean Martin. It
first touch
was
into refereeing this weekend.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it was just a bunch of individual errors on Arsenal's side. Like Martinelli just made bad passes. This was really just what it came down
Mm.
to. It was just you could still see the structure, and also
They played Rob
Zinchenko.
Holding.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Zinchenko went off the bench when Arsenal was 2-0 up and just hands in his head, almost crying. What kind of message does that send?
Who was
Is
crying?
Zinchenko, and he wasn't crying, but hands in his head, and he was frustrated when they were 2-0 up.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's what happens when you expect perfection,
I
right?
mean, I
Because they
guess.
have
No,
been nearly
Arsenal
perfect
was
this
2-0
season.
up.
Yeah,
And, I mean, I guess, yeah.
I mean that's the mentality that they have at the moment.
Yeah. And speaking of the points dropped by Arsenal, um, that leaves Manchester City with a good chance of just tying it up on points and going ahead based on goal difference now. Game in hand they
Yeah,
have, and they
it's
still got to play
huge.
Arsenal. And the past record against Arsenal, they're 2-0. So
It's huge.
yeah,
City have won their last 5 games. They're in that kind of form that they are at the end of the season where they just win every single game without a problem. And the fact that they're there, they're more experienced than that Arsenal team. They're going to be putting that pressure. It's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal uh, turn around from this. So far they've shown a lot of maturity and being able to turn it around. They've got West Ham, Southampton, City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Forest, Wolves. It's not
oh yeah,
too
Arsenal
many
have a
places
bad
for
run of
Arsenal to trip
games.
up.
Arsenal have a really
Yeah,
compared to City, they have a really bad run of games. City have a ton of relegation candidates coming up, so it's really not something
we
pretty that
check on
Arsenal want to
City.
see.
Yo, can you hear me? I think I lost you.
I can still hear it. You're all good.